Hey guys, welcome back to my colourful country life. It is time today for my July completed pages, and I have 12 completed pages to show you today. Your girl has been busy, so what I'm going to do is move this all out of the way so we can get straight into it. Okay, I might just zoom you in a little bit. Okay, so first up, I have this double page spread here from Rita Berman's Die Welt unter der Lupe Zylinder, and I have to say I am absolutely in love with these pages. I think this might be one of my most favourite double page spreads that I have ever done since I started colouring. Now, there is a colour along up on the channel for this, however, it is just for this right side. I had coloured the left side in a previous month, and then I had a lot of requests to complete the other half on camera, so I did make sure to use all the same combos on this side. So if you do want to go ahead and colour this side on your own, you can use the colour combinations from the video for this side. The big flower, however, now I started working on that in my 25 quirky questions video. I will tag that video if you want to go and see how I coloured the petals and the combo that I used for the flower. But all the other combinations, you can see here that I've used them on the other page. So you can just bring all the leaf combinations and colour this exactly the same way, the flower, etc. And then you can redo this page so you have a double page spread. So this entire double page spread was actually coloured in Prismacolor pencils, including the background. There's some stickles on the dots and the flower centers as well. I've also used some extreme glitter on the wings of the bee that I'm hoping the light is catching. There's some jelly roll metallic on there as well on some of the details. So inside the flowers, the butterfly, on the edge of the butterfly here too. A little bit of white signo, so I went over the bee's wings with white signo before using the extreme glitter. And for the background, I've used some of my beloved Imagine Crafts shimmer spray. That one is in colour Sparkle. It is very fine and soft, so the camera is probably not going to pick it up, but it looks beautiful and shimmery in person. Now, a lot of the pages I coloured this month were quite complex, so I spent quite a bit of time on them, including this one, but it was definitely time well spent. I not only enjoyed colouring this page, but I'm really happy. I'm happy as I could possibly be with the end result. I really do love this double page. So that is Rita Berman's Die Welt unter der Lupe Zylinder. Now let's take a look at Romantic Country, the second tale by Erie. Do I need to zoom you out? I think we can fit in frame. Let's have a look. I might just zoom you out a little bit. Okay, now this was the second Christmas in July page I managed to get completed this month, and I honestly did not think I'd fit it in. I was going to leave it until December, but it was highly requested. Seasons did get the most votes, which I'll show you that page in a minute. That was a reindeer page. So I did colour that first, and I was going to leave the Christmas colouring there, but I changed my mind. There was a few days left in July, and I thought, let me see if I can fit this in. I didn't think I was going to complete it, but I actually did just in time. So I just dove straight in and started colouring. Now, with this page, I had no idea what colours I was going to use. I decided to just put some colour on the paper and see what eventuates from there. At one point, I was even Googling London shop fronts at Christmas time to get an idea for the building colours. Now, I did make the mistake of using Prismas on this page, and I am not a fan of Prismacolor pencils on this paper. I do prefer to use polychromos in Erie books. Most of my pages in Erie books are coloured with polychromos, but Prismas just have the most beautiful reds, and I did regret my decision pretty much immediately, but I continued with it anyway. I did consider swapping, but I thought, no, I will just continue as I am. Despite the pencils being a bit of a pain, I actually did really enjoy colouring this double page and watching it come to life. I really do enjoy these big, complicated, busy pages. They just I can just like get right in and lose myself in them, and I just really enjoy colouring these beautiful complex pages. Also, I love these spur of the moment colour choices that just come to me as well. When I first looked at this page, I was thinking of some softer colours for the buildings, maybe some pastel type of colours. I didn't want to do grey. I want to liven the page up a bit or bring some colour to the page. So when I was Googling London Christmas shop fronts, I was seeing lots of black, dark green, deep burgundy, and even red shop fronts. And honestly, it was a toss of the coin which colour I was going to go with. I even based with Inktense, which was more of a purple red tone. But as I started picking up colours, mine ended up being a bit more on the red side, and I'm not mad about it. Those on-the-spot decisions seem to be the best decisions for me. Does that happen to anyone else? Actually, story time here. We were out to dinner the other night and I couldn't decide what I wanted to eat. My family were all ready to order and I was the last one. I'm in an iron over what to get. And when I went to order, my husband said, "Have you decided what you want yet?" I said, "No, not yet, but I'll know by whatever comes out of my mouth when the waitress asks me." And it was a good decision too. It was a really great meal. But that's kind of how I treated this background, and I love doing that. Sometimes it really just works for me. And it was a toss-up between deep green and deep burgundy, and it was just basically whichever pencil came to me first, that was what was going to be put on the page. And this worked. I'm glad I went with the deep reds. It's more of a red than a burgundy, so at least a contrast, because we've got sort of like an orange red on our little nutcrackers here as well. Anyway, is there anything else I wanted to tell you about this page? I did try to limit the colour scheme as much as I possibly could because it is a busy page. So it is mostly red, green, blue and orange, which are your split complementary colours. And every time I look at this page, I see the King's Guards from Buckingham Palace. I even almost gave them fuzzy black bearskin hats, and I still cannot unsee that when I look at this page as well. It looks like the King's Guards guarding the gates to Buckingham Palace to me. So I mentioned I used Prismacolors on this page. I also based some of the elements, mostly the big things, with Inktense. So that is what I used for the majority of the page, but I did use a whole lot of embellishments as well. We have Lightwish Super Golden markers. I'm just going to quickly lift that up so you can see some of that shine. The gold looks really flat when you're looking straight at it, but those Super Golden markers are really shiny. So all that gold, so up here on the bow, on their little outfits as well, it's all the Lightwish Super Golden markers. I used Ohuhu glitter markers and the Fly Sea glitter markers, which are also by Lightwish. So I mixed up between the Ohuhus and the Fly Seas just because they have different color ranges. They're basically dupes for each other. They're very similar markers, but the colors can be a little bit different. So I used two different ones, and I can't even tell you which one was which. So that, now I've got to try and find out where I use them. So this sort of light bluish green color here is the Fly Sea. And no, that is Sparkle Pop. I use the Sparkle Pop pen there. I really wish the Sparkle Pop green was more green without that blue reflect. So like a deep green with a light green reflect. That would be pretty. I did use... Actually, that is the Ohuhu down there. That is the Ohuhu green glitter marker on the leaves of our little duck. What else? There is some Jelly Roll Gold as well, so that is on the stars. I used that to offset the bright yellow from the Lightwish Super Golden markers. Artex acrylic paint pens, I use them to lighten the black lines around the baubles. I didn't want to cover them completely with like a white gel pen or something like that, so I just used the Artex just to soften those black lines a little bit. And all of the snow on the page was done with my Twilly Art white paint pen. That has had a bit of a workout this month, and it's still going strong actually, so I'm quite impressed. Now, I don't think I already mentioned it, but this is going to be a 3-part colour along series on the channel. I very much doubt all 3 parts are up by the time you're seeing this. So this is your sneak peek here. Although if you follow along over on Instagram, you've probably seen a whole heap of sneak peeks for this page already. You're probably sick of seeing this page. So that is the Nutcracker. I think it's actually called the Christmas page. But the Nutcrackers out of Romantic Country, The Second Tale by Erie. Next up, we have a double page spread in our full book colour along, which is Rooms of Wonder by Joanna Basford. And I've clearly lost the plot this month as I decided to do yet another wallpaper page. However, this page was actually so relaxing to colour and it didn't take anywhere near as long as this page did. There is also a colour along up on the channel for this page as well. For the background, I used Arteza Soft Pastels, which is nice and quick background. I based the elements with Inktense pencils. And then I use Prismacolor pencils for all the pencil work on top of that, just to add in all the shading. And for the outlines of our elements, I have used Sparkle Pop in Silver. See if the light is catching. Now, I did seriously consider using a gold gel pen instead. I did find it hard to choose as they would have given off two completely different looks to the page. I did end up scribbling both pens onto some scrap paper, then holding it next to the page to see what would suit the most. And I did come to the conclusion that both would actually look really good. The silver, though, kind of just blends in nicely, whereas the gold was drawing the eye to it. And I really wanted the pattern to kind of melt into the background and not pop out. It is a busy page, so drawing the eye to the elements will make it feel even busier when you're looking at it. So that was my thought process anyway. I added in some Jelly Roll glaze in the center of the florals there. I used two different colors, I think, like a red and like a pinky purple color. Again, I considered using yellow tones, which would have contrasted more, but like the gold pen, it would have drawn the eye there. If I had have outlined in gold, I would have then colored the centers in yellow, as that would have matched really well, and your eye would already been getting attracted to the elements because of the gold, so the yellow wouldn't change that or distract from that in any way. So instead, I went for matching colors in the silver to make it sort of melt into the background nicely. And I have put up a shorts video on the channel which shows a mid-year update for a progress in this book if you want to have a look. Have a look at that video, see what's left to colour, and maybe let me know in the comments which pages you're most looking forward to seeing as a colour along next on the channel. Next we have my beloved Curvy Roseanne's, and I coloured a page in Alien Worlds this month. And that is not it, Karen. Where is it? Here we go. And this is a colour along up on the channel as well. So this page actually makes me so happy. One, because it is Kirby, and two, because of all this beautiful water. I find it so relaxing and mindless when I'm colouring water. And of course, Kirby always makes me happy. Here's my happy place. So for this page, I did some basing with my Albrecht Dürer pencils, and then I went over the top with my Polychromos pencils. For the sky here, I coloured that with Neocolor 2. There is a little bit of Sparkle Pop pen here. You can see that those accents. There is a ton of Tooly paint work on this page as well. I've outlined everything with my Tooly paint pen in white. I'm so happy with how my giant bubble turned out. I actually swatched out a rough idea of colours and how they might work together. Let me grab it for a second. That's not it. Where is it? So like I was saying, I did swatch out a rough idea of colours and placement to see how they might work together before putting colour to the page. Just so I was a little bit apprehensive whether this is going to work, whether it's going to match. I haven't really coloured the soap bubbles before. I have coloured bubbles, but not soap bubbles. So I was just sort of making it up and trying out some colour combos to see what would work. And I couldn't have asked for it to turn out any better, actually. It did leave me with a bit of a conundrum though, because there were so many colours used to create this big soap bubble look that I found it difficult to choose an alien colour. I was actually leaning towards green or purple. I put up a poll on my Instagram stories and a lot of people were thinking the same thing as me. I still couldn't choose and I didn't want him to be all one colour. And if you can see here, and there's something, what page is this? 28. Kirby gives us details, of course, of his little aliens in the back. And what did I read? Okay, advanced marine creatures patrol the seas in high-tech hover vessels controlled by their own nervous system. Scaly sea aliens and modern machines. So it's controlled by their own nervous system. And when you look at the page, his fingers sort of attached here, and this little tail thing here attaches to this little contraption, and it kind of seems like it goes onto this as well. So all of this mechanical stuff, is it mechanical? No. All of this like steering business, I don't know what to call it. All of this stuff is connected to him or her and their central nervous system. So I wanted it to be a sort of similar colour and to blend in with it as well. So I ended up using both greens and purples and also a little bit of blue. And, you know, there's a lot of colour on this page, but I absolutely love how it turned out. I'm happy with my soap bubble. I was going to go and put some sort of like gloss over the bubble to make it stand out. I did forget to do that. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of what product I would have used. Glossy accent, no. The glaze pens, that would take forever. Anyway, I didn't do it. This is the final result. I'll lift that up again so it's just you can see a little bit of shine. Oops. From those sparkle pops. And that's it. So I really like how that turned out. That is Alien Worlds. Okay, so next up I have a Buddy Colour in Small Victories by Joanna Basford. This is also a colour along up on the channel. Now this was a Buddy Colour with Elizabeth, who is over on Instagram as Elizabeth's Colouring Universe. Now at the time of filming this, I don't actually have Elizabeth's page yet, but if I do before the video goes up, then I will add the picture in here. Now I have seen Elizabeth's opposite page here, which is stunning, and I believe she was recreating the colour scheme for this page. So I can't wait to see her page. Hopefully I can pop it up on the screen and you're seeing it now. So I was originally going to be using purples and oranges for my page. Halfway through I pivoted and this is what I ended up with, and I think it's sweet and simple. There's really not too much to say about this page. Actually, it was fun, it was quick. I decided against a background. I used Prismacolor pencils on this page. There is some Sparkle Pop, some Pen Touch Gold, and also some White Signo. So the Pen Touch Gold is here. I have been really loving using my Pen Touch Gold again. I haven't used it in, I was going to say months, but it could even be years. I have used it in Mythic World. So it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I last used it. And did I say Jelly Roll Glaze? Because I can see some Jelly Roll Glaze on there as well. So that is just a quick, sweet, simple page here from Small Victories by Joanna Basford. Okay, so our other Christmas in July page this month was from Seasons by Hannah Carlson, and I coloured the reindeer page. So this one got the most votes for what you would like to see as a Christmas in July page. And I really had a lot of fun colouring this page, and I'm really happy with the end result as well. I actually pivoted quite a lot from my original plans. When I was contemplating colouring this page, I had envisioned more of a bolder look. So I was thinking of like a deep black to blue kind of midnight blue sky with these beautiful vibrant greens, just really bold and out there. And I kind of pivoted in the complete other direction. I'm not mad about it. I'm really happy with the end result. I'm glad I went in this direction. I think it really suits the page as well. And there is a colour along for this up on the channel. For the background, I use Neocolor 2s, and I really love this dappled effect that I've gotten with the Neocolor 2s. It really does give the effect of falling snow, I think. For the rest of the page, I use Prismacolor pencils. There is some Sparkle Pop down here on these things. I don't know what to call them. They're not crystals, but they're next to crystals. It's also on the stars as well. There is a whole heap of Twilliard white paint pen on this page as well. I told you it got a lot of use. It's still going strong, but yeah, got a lot of use this month. And I have added, I've added the Pretty Shimmer Spray to the background, which is the Imagine Crafts Shimmer Spray in Sparkle. It is beautiful and soft and shimmery in person. I imagine it's not catching on camera as well as it looks to me in person, but yeah, that is our reindeer page from Hannah Carson's Seasons. And next up I have a new book, which is Goddess Colouring Fierce Feminine Energy to Colour by Anna Jaron. This is such a pretty book. There is a flip through up on my channel, which I will link down below. So I actually coloured this Easter page. I have all the holidays covered this month almost. I was really drawn to this page though, and I am such a mood colorist, so Easter might be a long, long way away, but I just had to colour this page. Now, I did base a lot of this page with Tombow water-based markers, so I wanted to test the paper out, and the paper in this book is sensational. I did want to test it out by throwing lots of different mediums at it to see how things would work. So, like I said, I based a lot of things with the Tombow water-based markers and went over with Prismacolor pencils to add in some shading. Now the background here, the sunset or sunrise, is just Prismacolor pencils because I wanted to see how they would work on their own on the paper as well. And they blended beautifully. For embellishments, I have used the Lightwish Super Golden markers, as you can see on the gold around here. I used Lightwish Super Golden, no, Lightwish Metallic Paints. Where did I use Lightwish Metallic Paints? I wonder if that's for the sun. Was that for the sun? Must be. Let me lift that up. Yeah, that must have been for the sun. So that set, let me just show you the set I'm talking about. So this is the set here. Now Lightwish sent this out to me. There is no brand name on the set. I do have it linked in my Amazon storefront, but these are the shades I used, and I probably used real gold on the sun there. I've also used the Artex paint pens and the Twilliard paint pens as well. The Twilliard paint pen, I just used the white. The Artex paint pens I used in colour just to go over some of the black lines and just to add some details on the centre of the flowers. And I also used my Wink of Stella on the Easter eggs here, just to add a little bit of shimmer. Now, I'm having a problem with my Wink of Stellas. I want to show you guys, and let me see if you guys have the same problem or if you know a solution for me. Alright, I've just grabbed a piece of scrap paper. I am doing some Black Widow's green colour combos. So that is what is on that page, me trying out some combos. I'm just going to move this to the side so I don't get any product on the book. But what I'm finding is happening, let me shake the pen up. And I think you can, can you see all the product down here? So when I squeeze to get product on the brush, it's coming out of the side here and dripping down, and I'm getting a lot of product wastage. So if I squeeze here, let me zoom you in. So when I squeeze, okay, is this pen empty? Oh. Okay, this one looks like it's empty, so it's not even going to work. Let me see if I've got another one I can show you. But yeah, the product seems to come down at the outside here, where you can see all that. And then, see, it's coming all on the outside. And it comes out of these little holes here. And then runs out the outside until it gets to the brush. So I end up with a big dollop. So I always have to squeeze it over the paper. I end up with a dollop, and then I'm just picking it up from the paper. Let's see if I've got another one. Let's see if I can show you with the gold. See, it's happened on this one too. Yeah, can you see? Hang on, get that right out of the way. I'll zoom it in a bit more. Can you see when I'm squeezing the product coming? And then there, see it's coming out of the sides? Right there. And that's a problem I'm having. That's actually not as bad as what it normally is like. But if you have the Wink of Stellas, can you tell me if yours is doing the same thing? Like, is that meant to happen? It seems to happen with all of my Wink of Stellas. I do have new ones. But before I open them, I just want to see if everybody else has the same issues. Because I really do. I'm like, look at that shimmer. But I end up wasting so much product. Yeah, so does yours come outside here, like just inside the plastic, but then it comes out of these little holes and drips out instead of going inside onto the brush? I hope that makes sense. I hope you can understand what I'm talking about. If anyone has any clue for me, let me know, because I'm sick of wasting product and I really do like my Wink of Stellas. Okay, I'm going to zoom you back out in a second. Let me just bring my goddess back. Okay, so that is everything that I used on the Easter page here. Oh, and the reason I did the sunrise here is because it says she's the goddess of dawn, sunrise and new beginnings. So that's why I had to do that background. I love the suns like this and the different sun rays. There's a few pictures that have those sort of sun rays in this book. There is a full flip through up on the channel though, if you're interested in having a look. The paper is wonderful to colour on. Okay, next up is the Flower Year by Layla Dooley. Oh, it's 11:11. The time just popped up. 11:11. Okay, Flower Year by Layla Dooley. This book has been highly requested for some time now for me to do a colour along. And you can find this page up on the channel as a colour along. I may do some more in the future because I know a lot of people are still requesting more pages. But this one was another sweet and simple page, and I was really happy to get another page completed in this book as well because it has been quite neglected. I did use Prismacolors, so basically the entire page is Prismacolor pencils. The centre of the foxgloves here, I've used a bit of Signo White, some of my Pen Touch Gold and some Jelly Roll Glaze in purple. I decided to forego a background on this page. So it was quick and simple and fun to colour. And that is the Foxglove page from the July section of The Flower Year by Layla Dooley. Okay, next up I have Fairies in Dreamland by Denise Klett, and this page did not go to plan at all. Actually, the background did not go to plan at all. The rest of it pretty much did. So this is the page I chose to colour here. Now, firstly, with the elements on the page, I used Albric Duras for basing and then polychromos over the top for shading. There is some folk art extreme glitter. I don't know which colour I used for that one. There's some folk art glitter on the wings. Hopefully that is shimmery and shining on the screen for you all. Now, for the background, I used Arteza Soft Pastels twice. So the first time was a fail. This is my fix-up. I think it looks okay, but because it's not what I wanted, I'm also a little annoyed by it too. My original plan was a sunset. I had used my cloud stencil, but because I wasn't too sure about where I wanted to place the colours, what I should have done is tested it on a different page like I did with this. But no, I went straight in there and I decided to start from the middle of the page and work my way out. Complete rookie error because nothing matched up and it didn't even look like clouds by the end of it. If I had started from the top and worked my way down, it would have worked. So at least it taught me something, right? I guess. Now, I erased the background as much as I could. You can still see some of the darker colours up the top here. The yellowy orange colours didn't come off at all, which is why we have this colour background. And yeah, so you can see some of the darker colours poking through. But you know what? I'm okay with that. It's not too bad. I didn't want to use a dark colour to cover it. I could have gone in with a really dark blue or a black, or something to cover the background. I didn't want to do that. I wanted the page to be light and bright. And I did absolutely love the page until I got to the background, but it's okay. It's not the worst page I've ever done. That one's coming soon. So that just reminded me about the page I was fixing in Rita Berman's book. I'll grab that out again in a second because you guys wanted to see me redo that page. I'm not sure how I feel about that one either, but I will show you that one in a minute. That wasn't my worst page. That one's next. So this is Fairies in Dreamland. Is that what it's called? Fairies in Dreamland by Denise Klett. And I also used the Kaisercraft Gold Shimmer Mist in the background. And this one you might be able to see. This one might be picking up my shimmer. So next up is Hannah Carson's Tales from the Forest Kingdom, and I'm really not happy with this page. So where I live here, the internet connection is pretty slow. It's not reliable at all, which means it takes ages, sometimes 3 to 4 days even, for one of my videos to upload. In that time, I usually colour something just for myself, so not filming it, or I'll work on my colour combo series or other stuff that I've got to do, catch up on, answer your comments and questions and all that sort of stuff. So while I was uploading a video, I thought I'd colour something in this book. I really felt like colouring something. This book is one of my favourites from her new books. This one and also Atlantis. They're probably my two favourites from her new style of books. But I haven't worked much in this book. So at the time, I did feel like colouring something. I also wasn't feeling it at the same time, if that makes sense too. So I wanted to colour, but I didn't feel like colouring. I hope that makes sense. I kind of just wanted to put colour to paper, I guess, without thinking too much about it. This is where I need to invest in some mandala books to keep my hands busy, because I really did just that. I didn't think about colours or colour placement. And for that reason, my page looks really flat. My flowers look really flat. My leaves look really flat. Now, the colour scheme, at first I wasn't really liking it at all. I think possibly I should have added more depth to the background. Honestly, after I'd completed the background of the leaves, the whole page was like yellow-brown, very reminiscent of baby poop in my opinion. And I ended up deciding to go with more of a muted palette as well for the gems and beads. And it got to a point where I was thinking that I was going to try to erase what I could, or maybe I could just glue the pages together and never look at it again. I had just had enough at that point. I did persist though, and with those muted greens, I think the colour palette has actually turned out okay in the end. I don't think I have disliked a completed page this much in a long time though. But you know what? It's finished. I didn't abandon it, and in the end I can live with it. Even to the point that I was thinking of colouring the other page with a similar colour palette, but this time maybe put a bit more thought into where I place my colours. Also, whatever could go wrong on this page, it did. My watercolours leaked under my washi tape, and then the washi tape ripped off some of the paper. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. So that's now just making me want to colour the other page just to cover up that mess. I don't have to look at that anymore either. I am probably being way too harsh on myself, and possibly when I look back at this page later, I might think it's okay, but right now I am over it. For this page, I used the Paul Rubens Ulan watercolours for the background. There's also a review for those paints up on my channel. And I added in some gold metallic paint as well, just to give it a little bit of shine. I did put the white Signo little dots in here, just to kind of break up that yellow, brown, baby poop background. I used the Toolie Art paint pens to cover the black lines. Lightwish Super Golden markers for the silver stars and the accents just here on the beads. The gold is my Pen Touch gold pen. Yeah, a little white Signo on the gems as well. So now I'm going to put this book away and possibly not look at it for a while. Having said that, now I'm probably going to go colour the other page. All right, so another quick page. Actually, I did 2 pages in this book this month, so that means I completed 13 pages, not 12. See, I was on such a roll this month. been busy in July. What is this? Watercolor with Me in the Forest by Dana Fox. Now, this was basically just me testing out a new floral watercolor palette, and I did do a review on the watercolors, but that won't be up on my channel possibly for another week after you see this video. So this was just a quick bit of fun, just testing out the colors, seeing how well they mix together, all that sort of stuff. Obviously my technique leaves a lot to be desired. I am trying to learn to use my watercolors more. I'm actually working a bit more with gouache at the moment, but I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And this was the other page. So all I used was watercolor paints. So that is supposed to be like that. And then that one was supposed to be like that. Now, the colour palette that I was using didn't have any of these colours, so I kind of had to mix and make my own. And I think I recreated it quite well. I didn't put all these dots on it because I didn't want to add the dots. And just changed this up a little bit as well. I think it turned out pretty good. Yeah, so it was just a bit of quick fun. Like I said, I've been having fun working with gouache at the moment. I have just signed up to do some online classes. So hopefully I'll have something to show you from that in the next few months. Hopefully I can learn how to use them well and show you guys as well. So let me just grab the page from Rita Berman's that I wanted to redo. Okay, so I might need to zoom you back in a little bit. Now, I mentioned on an earlier video that I have a page in this book that I've never really liked. It was a really old colouring I used to test out new mediums. It wasn't terrible. Well, actually, okay, I just didn't like it. And after colouring this page, and this has been one of my favourite pages I've ever coloured, looking back at the other page, where is it? I really didn't like it, so I wanted to redo it. Now, I have filmed the process, however, I'm still not sure that I like the page, so I haven't put the video up. If you still want to see the video after this, let me know. I don't actually know if the page looks that different. So, this is the page here. I will pop the original up here. I don't know if I still don't like it. I don't know if it's because I'm sick of looking at it or because of all the blank space in the background that I had to fill up, or simply because I just didn't colour it very well. There was only so much I could do with this page after I tried to get rid of what was already on there. And I mean, it's just a flower. I would have liked to have had no background, or just like a really soft pastel background just around the flower, something a little bit more delicate. But because of what I already had done on the page previously, I wasn't able to really do that because I couldn't get rid of what I already had. Well, I got rid of it a little bit, but not much. I could have used some satin glazing liquid on this paper as well. It did not like the water at all. But then again, I would have had to go in with a darker colour background. So I don't know. I mean, the flower looks pretty. I think the flower looks better. The background, I still don't like, but I can't remember what I used on the background. I think I used Neocolor 2s, and I've added in some sort of like glittery paint, and then I've gone in with the Kaisercraft Gold Shimmer Spray. I was throwing everything at this. The pencils I end up using Prismacolors, and I think that's the Tule Art White Paint Pan. Yeah, I did what I could, but I still don't love it. It wasn't really the recreation that I was hoping for. Let me know if you still want to see the changes, and yeah, anyway, that is all I have to show you for this month. I would love to know what your favourite page from this month was. For me, it's a toss-up between the Rita Berman double page here and the Eerie Nutcracker Christmas page. For August, I have actually decided not to do a plans video. Reason being, I have so many ideas and plans running through my head at the moment. I am on a creative roll. I already have a list of pages I want to complete. And the purpose of my planning videos is really for me to show you what I'm wanting to colour in the month and seeing which pages you might like to see as a colour along. And I guess also to give you all inspiration for some books you may want to pull out yourself and colour in as well. Each time I do these videos, I do write a list of all your requests. So I have a bunch of ideas already for pages you've already requested. And these pages are ones that I've already mentioned a few times now in different videos, and I just haven't gotten around to them. So for August, I am expecting to colour some Kirby, of course, Joanna Basford, Mel Pimetti, RJ Hempson, more pages in our full book colour along in Rooms of Wonder. I do want to focus more on that a bit, as I already am thinking of ideas for a book for our next full book colour along, and we're only halfway through this one. Then, if I still have time, I'd like to also colour some Maria Trolle, maybe some romantic country again, and maybe even some Layla Dooley. I do have some new books coming this month as well, so when they arrive, they will also be on my list to colour. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Happy colouring, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.